Endurance Sports Car Driving Tips, brought to us by Discovery Parts. Discovery Parts is your source for all driving gear and many other sources for getting out there on the racetrack. And today we're going to be talking about steering wheels. You know, when you think about getting on track, you make sure your car's going to be reliable, you're going to make sure it's performing. But I think what gets overlooked a lot is making sure that the drivers are comfortable in the car, because that is going to be key when you're not out there just for 10 or 20 minutes in a sprint race, but you're out there for 2 hours at a time most likely. So again, we're going to talk today a little bit about how the steering wheel should fit in your hands and things you should be looking for when making your car comfortable for all the drivers. Okay, so here we are sitting in the car, and you know, when you do endurance sports car racing, you're going to have multiple drivers. As an example, I'm about 5'9". My dad is about 6'1". So when you're in those kind of situations, it's not like you can just make this car perfect for all the drivers. You're not going to be able to do that. There's going to be compromises. But let me just share a couple things I've noticed over the years. One is the actual steering wheel you buy. And I know everybody's just trying to do everything they can sometimes just to get on the track, but I've noticed a lot of people purchase these steering wheels that I see probably maybe bought at like an AutoZone, and they're almost like star-shaped, and you can't really get your hand on it properly. So again, I think it's very important to make sure that you get a steering wheel that is not where you're having to place your hands in weird, awkward positions because the spokes are in your way. You'll notice on this Momo steering wheel, I can put my thumbs right here and just grip the wheel, okay? So that's very important. And making sure that when you do this, that the steering wheel is not far reach. I have a trick where I put my wrist, and as long as when I'm buckled in, my wrist goes over that part of the steering wheel, that's a key part of being properly positioned, because otherwise I'm either reaching too far, and then that's like I'm lunging to try to drive it, or it's too far into my chest, and we're not stock car drivers. We want it perfectly right like this, and you need to still have proper knee placement. So again, if the steering wheel's too far away, your knees are going to be hitting on it. So again, if you can get like a steering wheel adapter that helps, again, stretch the steering wheel away from the stock position, that's really crucial. But again, notice how I put my fingers just like this, and when I'm steering, it's just left and right, and if I have to go very far, I'm not taking my hands off the wheel because I'm climbing over the spokes. So that's very, very crucial when you're looking to get a steering wheel. And again, they're not cheap sometimes, and I know sometimes that's what everybody looks for, is the cheapest route to get a steering wheel in the car. But that sometimes is the worst thing you can do, because you're going to actually have more wrecks because of that. So again, just making sure you get a nice steering wheel. And I like the flat bottom ones, again, because if you have drivers like my dad that's 6'1", the flat bottom just gives them that just a little bit of extra leg room.